Hi, Gordon. Today we're going to go through a real simple procedure of troubleshooting the glow plug system in a diesel. This is a 300D turbo. All of them are very similar. They changed the glow plug relays a little bit over the years, and they went to pin size in later years on the glow plugs, but the function is the same. The way we tell when we've got trouble, the first indication of trouble is when you turn the key on, that little glow plug orange light should light up like that. And then of course, when the system is ready to start, it goes out. But if you turn the key on and that yellow light won't come on at the very beginning when you turn the key on, more than likely what you have is one of the glow plugs is burned out. In the wisdom of the Mercedes engineers, they set this system up to where that's how you troubleshoot it. When the current is not correct through the glow plug relay, and so one of the glow plugs is opened up, that orange light won't light. So as long as it's lighting up, you're probably okay lighting up and going out. So let's go look under the hood. This particular car doesn't have any trouble right now with the glow plug system. We're just showing how to troubleshoot it and simulating some of these things. But let's assume that one of the glow plugs was out. How would we find out? Well, first of all, if the orange light wouldn't come on when we turn the key on, it probably means that one of the glow plugs is out. We've got a glow plug for each of the cylinders, and let's go look and see where they are. First of all, they're underneath the injectors, and if you can see my pointer, there's the one for number 1 right there. So you see the glow plug screws into the head, and then there's a second one behind it right underneath the injector. So we're right here. So we're on the driver's side of the car. There's the injector, and down below it there's a glow plug. There's another one right there, and so on and so forth. There's the fourth one back right there. So you can see there are 5 of them. There's a wire that goes to each one, and over here those wires are pulled back to the glow plug relay. The glow plug relay on all of these older Mercedes sits right here, and there are a couple of different variations on this relay, but they're all in approximately the same spot. We can pull the cover off real easy, and underneath it is the wiring that's used. Of course, we need power into this thing, so we bring power. There's a big cable that brings power into the thing, and then there's a large fusible link right across here that typically doesn't go out, but the 5 glow plugs are hooked up right here. And if we want to see if one of those glow plugs is out, a glow plug is really just a resistor, and it draws a lot of current. I've got a new one. If we look, they just screw into the block, and then this part is the heating element, if you will, and it gets very, very hot by electric current. And when it goes bad, when it finally burns out, it creates an electrical open. So instead of a short, it's open. When it's good, we can test it if we have an ohm meter. So I've got an ohm meter here, and of course an ohm meter will test continuity. And so if I put the 2 leads of the ohm meter together, what I'm going to do is see that, you see there that it's open. And of course, when I put the function of the meter on ohm and I touch the leads together, it goes to a very low resistance. There's a couple of ohms, and it depends on the scale, but it eventually gets there. This is a little digital meter, a cheap little digital meter I have. So what we want to do is make sure that this glow plug is good. In a brand new one, you can see what happens if I put one of them to the ground part, the part that screws into the block, and then put the other lead to the terminal, to the screw terminal where the wire is going to hook up. You can see that it goes to essentially 0 ohms. So it's a good glow plug. If the glow plug is bad, what's going to happen is when I touch it, it'll be open. In other words, it won't show 0 ohms. So this is a good glow plug, and I don't have a bad one, but that's what will happen with an ohm meter. It'll indicate no, it won't have a complete circuit.
Is there any visible indication in this area that it's bad?
Well, this is a brand new one, but a burn one gets kind of white and charred, so it gets some corrosion, and it looks like corrosion. It's really not. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. It gets blackened in there because it's sitting inside that cylinder, and so it's, you know, it's subject to the constant combustion in the cylinder. But
no visual indication.
No visual way to look at one and tell whether it's open or good. But if I have an ohm meter, I can check it, and it's real easy. All I have to do is pull this off. And remember now, I got an indication because that yellow lamp inside wouldn't light up. So I know I got one of these, at least one, that's open. So all I have to do is find a good ground, let's say here, and then I can test, and we'll watch this ohm meter while we touch. You can see the 5 connections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this 300D, and I'll touch in turn if I've got, I don't know if I have a good ground yet. Let me make sure that I've, there. So I had to scratch that a little bit, but you see that's on 4 and 3, so that one's good. Okay, see, it opens up when I take it off, and then when I touch that, it's a short. So, and of course that's hooked to one of the glow plugs, and there are 5 of them that are hooked right here. There's another one, and it's good. Well, if I could keep my connection, you see, that one's a short circuit, so I know that's a good glow plug. And likewise, so I just test them all, and finally I'm going to get to one that's opened up. And then I'm going to have to change it. So I don't change all of mine necessarily at once. I wait till one goes bad and change, you know, sometimes I just change one. They cost about 10 bucks a piece. So once I find the one, and these of course are labeled. If you look very, very closely, you see that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. If I get this pointer over here. As it plugs in, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this plug. And that corresponds to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as I go from the front to the back of the engine. So once I've found which one of them is bad, I can go and change it. Now they're in tight spots. And the glow plug itself is a 12 millimeter. That's the size of the small type. The large type are different. I don't have a large type here in front of me, but anyway, the glow plug unscrews from the cylinder head with a 12 millimeter. Now there's a nut that I have to take off first that screws the wire onto the glow plug, and it's an 8 millimeter. So if I go and I look down here, you see that if, for example, number 4 is an easy one to see right here. There's a little 8 millimeter nut on there. I have to take that nut off first. Then that wire comes off the glow plug. And then I have to take that 12 millimeter and unscrew the glow plug from the cylinder head and replace it. And that's really all there is to it. So the glow plugs themselves are typically what goes bad. But after time, this relay can go bad. And if the relay goes bad, you know, the reason you have to use a relay is because those glow plugs draw incredibly high amperage, you know, 50 or 60 amps probably. It's fused at 80 amps, but you got heavy amperage to heat those things up. And finally, the relay contacts in this glow plug relay go bad. And when that happens, you just don't get any power to any of the glow plugs. And so if your car won't start very well, you keep cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking, it's probably the actual glow plug relay is out. And periodically you're just going to have to replace them. I've got a car with, I replaced it at about, I think, 175,000 miles, probably almost 20 years, but I don't know if it had been replaced before that. At any rate, periodically you got to change the glow plug relay, and it just mounts with a couple of 10 millimeter bolts right onto that side there, and then
all the wires come right off. There's just the main, you know, power wire, and then there's the little wire that goes to the ignition switch, the little harness there, the control wire, and then the five glow plugs are on that bigger cable there. So there's not much to changing that thing out. They cost a little over $100, maybe $125. So that's really all there is to the glow plug system.